Out now from Eureka Entertainment is The Sword from 1980. This is a martial arts film. It is on Blu-ray. It is 89 minutes, directed by Patrick Tam, with Chen, Adam Cheng, Norman Chu, and Eddie Ko, who you'd probably recognize. I always think of him as the guy. He did a lot more and a lot more important things than this, but he was the father of the Chinese refugee family in Lethal Weapon 4. If you remember the Lethal Weapon 4, the gray-haired Asian gentleman, that's Eddie Ko. He's in this, younger and much more violent. It's presented in Cantonese mono, English mono, and Mandarin mono with English subs in any of the non-English speaking versions, or I guess you could turn them on during the English version too. And it's a Golden Harvest film. So the story here goes a little something like this. It's a young swordsman rescues a young woman from an assassin. He learns her father is a legendary swordsman and challenges her father to a duel. And it's basically these two guys who are striving to become like the great master swordsman and fighting over a cursed sword that we see at the beginning of the film. And the father at the beginning of the film has this sword, and the man who's forging a new sword says, "Yeah, get rid of that sword. It's just going to bring you unhappiness, death, and misery," and he chooses not to get rid of the sword. So it's a lot of melodrama, a lot of really good action, a lot of really good swordplay in this film. I did sort of lose the plot along the way a few times. Sometimes I do for a lot of these period piece. I should always say that up front, I guess. This is set in old-timey China. For a lot of the period piece Chinese films, it takes me a good 10 minutes or so to understand who everybody is and what's going on with the history and the clans and who's good and who's bad and who wants what and why. I always panic at the beginning of these things and think, oh my God, I'm just not going to understand this. And it always clicks in, and I always do. So it just took a little while for me to get into this one. And at sometimes maybe my mind was wandering. I don't know. There's a lot of drama in this film because the plot isn't really that ornate. It's two guys who want to become the best, and eventually there's a big duel, and I won't give away which way that goes. There are a couple of shocking moments of violence in it that I was like, wow, I can't believe we just saw that. In that it comes out of nowhere and not really gory, but just like it's a very traditional Asian martial arts film of the period, and suddenly, a geyser of blood or a throat slit or something, and you're like, wow. It's got a cool score. It's a mix of like 1980 strings and synth. The transfer looks great with all these Eureka releases. It's just like they don't look like old movies sometimes. Like, yes, it's shot a long time ago, but the quality, the clarity, the skin tones. I always come back to skin tones, the color quality, the brightness and sharpness. It's just like you could have shot this yesterday, and I would believe you. It's really cool. The bonuses on this are a commentary by. I smile because this is the bonus on like every martial arts release lately, and it's good because these guys are great. Commentary by Cheng, who was the head of Taisang Entertainment for a long time and has worked with and knows a lot about all of this and always gives good context in Hong Kong Chinese history of the filmmakers, history of the film industry at the time. And then you get a commentary by Mike Leader and Arne Venema, who also work in Hong Kong and work with a lot of these people, have over time in more recent years. And they have great insight about the martial arts styles, the martial arts history, and the people that we see on screen. And almost never, like you get these commentaries, like I say, a lot of these martial arts releases now, you get two commentary tracks, and rarely do they ever cover the same material, which is great because you don't want to sit through the entire movie again and just hear the same thing you just heard from the other guy. So extras also include Forging Ahead, Wayne Wong on The Sword, 18 minutes, Andrew Heskin's interview. It's a film scholar discussing the film. That's 13 minutes and a 3-minute trailer. I will show you the packaging. Not like wildly dynamic, like not stark. It kind of matches the mood of the movie, It's classy, it's cool, but it's not like Miracle Fighters or something that's nuts. So slipcase, if I can make it do so, the slipcase slips to reveal a different poster. I guess one of the original posters. Crack it open, and we get a booklet. I'll tell you what's in that in a second. We get, this is one where we just get an image from the film on the inside of the tray, which I'm a big fan of. I love the clear cases. What can I say? There's another way to show you something without having to take the thing out and flip it over. So the booklet has some writing on the film, and it utilizes stills from the new transfer of the film. We get Fortune and Glory, The Sword and Hong Kong New Wave by Long Wing Fat. Yes, sorry. Didn't know if it was Long Wing Fi. And I believe there are 2 articles in here. And then we also get a new language, Patrick Tam on The Sword. So 2 articles. And again, not the same content that we got in that half hour or more, or really kind of 3 hours plus of extras on the disc itself. writing that's intelligent, really well informed. Really top-notch job as always from Eureka. This is from 1980, The Sword.